Hi, and thanks for being here. This is Bare Naked Moms. I'm Alana Level.
And I'm Milano Buckley. Our show today could not be better timed for where we all are on the mental, emotional map of wellness. Did you hear? It's holiday season, people. Even the calmest among us can get cuckoo in these loud, colorful, so expensive times.
Our holiday gift to you, Bare Nakeds, is the brilliant psychotherapist, Niro Feliciano, and her latest book, All is CALMish. Niro has been helping individuals and families for over 2 decades. She's a contributor on The Today Show. She writes a column for Today.com. She's a best-selling author, and she's a mom of 4.
All is CALMish is just what I needed to read right now. It was like a hot cup of tea for my heart, my brain, my nervous system. Not only is it such an insightful LOL breakdown of our holiday stress, she totally gets it at every level. But it's also this super simple, clear, liberating set of strategies that we can use like now, in the next hour, tomorrow, next week.
Like do this, say this.
Yes. It's like how to stress like a dummy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How to manage your anxiety like a dummy. Anyway, she just gives you these strategies that are so implementable for managing the anxiety that might be coming next week, the anxiety that you're feeling in this very moment. And it's helpful. It's really productive and helpful. Anyways,
without further ado, please enjoy our conversation with Niro Feliciano, and please have yourself a very happy holiday season.
Happy holidays. So I'm going to start with my most favorite thing about this book. The book, by the way, I should just like say the title throughout. All is calm-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Is that you not only give us like, I'm all about the practical. I'm all about the actionable, practical advice, but you give us a practical toolbox or a list of tools to help us manage the inevitable stress of the holiday season, no matter who you are, a Buddhist monk, which is probably why you became a Buddhist monk, because the holidays stressed you out too much. But it's also like a practical list like before the stress happens, but also while it's happening. Like you cover sort of like all time frames around anxiety and stress. And a lot of this stuff is not like new to my ears, probably yours either, like practicing gratitude, making lists of joy. We talked to Deborah Norville about that, right? Like the thank you power. And she has like a little list in her pocketbook or wherever whatever she has every day to remind her, right, of the things that she loves. So these are not new things. Meditation, flipping the script. I love this so much. Like instead of I have to do this, I have to go to this store and this store. Oh, I get to like flip all of your I have to's to I get to's. Giving and doing small acts of kindness for people, breath work, sleep, exercise, all such good stuff. Not necessarily stuff we haven't heard before or read before, right?
Mm-hmm.
But these concepts are all having a moment. But you do something different with the list. You don't make it about virtue or like virtue signaling or being a better human necessarily, although if you do all those things, you might just end up a better human.
Inadvertently, yes.
Inadvertently. But you make it about our bodies and like physical health, living longer. You make it about neurobiology and like, don't meditate because you think you're going to talk to God. Meditate because it'll prevent heart disease. So, I mean, I just think that like concrete, like taking it down to this like place of the body and the now is just, that's what blew me away about this book. You give it to us in that way of like, just do this. It's not that big of a deal. Don't do it for this reason. Do it for this reason, whatever. But you take the kumbaya out of it, which is I think really makes it really digestible.
Oh, that's good. I'm not a kumbaya person. I need the science behind it to tell me that it's worth my time, right? So, and as you said, nothing I say has been said before. What we say about these practices is it's common wisdom, but not common practice. So we all know these things, but how do we actually do it where it fits our life, where everyone is living to maximum bandwidth? And what I always remember is if I can incorporate it in my life, unless I can incorporate it in my life, someone who has a career and 4 kids, and it needs to only take me a few minutes, that's when I'll be able to recommend it to other people because everyone is busy, no matter if you have no kids or 4 kids or whatever you have in your life. We've filled our schedules to this maximum. And that is part of why the holidays are even more stressful because we're putting another to-do list on top of our lists that are already long and often feel overwhelming and unmanageable. So thank you for saying that because I'm glad it was easy and it was compelling to you because you saw multiple benefits to the practice.
Yeah.
Big picture wise, in your work, you focus on people in need because they're overwhelmed or they're anxious. Can you talk a little bit about why you saw the holidays as a time that needed your focus?
Mm-hmm. One, the holidays always coincide with seasonal affective disorder. So I have people coming back who've been happy all spring and summer. And then for the most part, we are getting this signal from everywhere around us that we're supposed to feel joyful. And there's so many things that can occur in our life over a year that genuinely take away from our joy. And especially in the work that I do, I'm dealing with people who've lost family members, who may have lost children in the past year, who are going through financial stress sometimes. And this year, all of those things, let alone loneliness, you can even be in a marriage and be lonely, right? So this time of year magnifies it because there's this huge pervasive should statement. You should feel joyful. You should feel happy. But people have very real situations that prevent them from feeling that way. So that's why in my work, the holidays have been extra hard for people. And I felt like I need to speak to that in a way where more people can have this voice in their life because therapy too, it's hard to find a good therapist you connect with. Therapy is expensive. So it's not accessible for everybody, but I felt like this information needs to be accessible. It is not fair that it is only for some and not for all. So that's why we had a book.
You could have come up with, I think, a lot of titles for this book. I mean, and I'm just going to name it like a couple here, like The Holiday Survival Guide, How to Reclaim the Spirit and the Magic of Holidays, put the happy back into happy holidays. I mean, there's just like so many different angles, right?
Yeah.
Why the title you chose?
So my publishing company did not like my title at first. They X'd it and they gave me all those other titles, which you mentioned. And I felt very strongly about calm-ish. I wanted to set the bar of what was good and enough in this season. And it is not about feeling calm all the time. Realistically, when you have that much to do or you're going through a serious life stressor, it is very unrealistic to feel calm all the time. And I know for me, calm-ish is a win. If I can get through all of this and still feel somewhat calm, that's good. That's good. So I eventually told them, I love all you people, but if this is not the title, I'm not writing this book. And they wrote me back right away. They said, it works. So
we'll take it.
Yeah, it was good. I teach my kids all the time, you need to advocate for yourself for many reasons. And it's important to me to model that for them. So they know that story too.
Along the lines of advocating for yourself, one of the most powerful things to me about your book is like a celebration of the power of no, which is it's personally extremely hard for me. I have a hard time saying no to any number of things in my life, from one last glass of wine to a new volunteer gig that I don't have time for. Can you talk a little bit about how you use that idea especially during the holidays.
Mhm.
One more thing I have to add that I do because my husband wants to divorce me over it.
Uh-huh.
I'll even say yes to 2 social engagements in one night.
Yeah.
I'm like, we'll go, we'll spend an hour and then we'll go to the next one. And he's like, are you even kidding me? Like, when have we ever succeeded at doing that, first
Okay,
of all?
right.
Anyway,
Because you
over to
always
you.
get to the second one so much later than you think you're going to be there, right?
Or you never make it and you you're the rude person who said yes and then you
Mhm.
never show up.
Alana, when you do that, do you enjoy it? Do you enjoy both events?
No.
Okay. And that's our starting point to where we
Yeah.
need to say no. We need to start asking those questions. Not only what are we going to do, but why do we do this? Do we actually enjoy it at the end of it? And the no came from my first book. I wrote about contentment in the book, This Book Won't Make You Happy. And I was listening to Shonda Rhimes' book, A Year of Yes. And my first thought when she was saying, we need to say yes to more, I said, in order to say yes to a year, you also have to say no to a year. You need a year of no in order to have a year of yes, because our time is finite and our yeses are only as strong as our no's, really. We have to make the time for it. So that's where that concept came from. If we can reframe it that yes, we're saying no, but that gives us time and energy to say yes to the things that are most important. And if we say yes to things that are not important, we're inadvertently going to say no to the things that are. So your energy, your ability to enjoy things. When you say yes to those two limitations, you're saying no to that. I'm not going to have the energy. I'm not going to enjoy it. So which is actually more important to you? That's where we have to start. We have to get clear on what's important. We have to get clear on how we feel in the things that we say yes to. And then it makes it a little bit easier to say no. And for me too, I'm at the point where one kid has gone to college. My second one will be applying to college next year. I know my time is finite with everybody in my house. And that has made it easier for me to say no to things that are less important. I want the energy. I want the presence for my family in front of me here while I have that gift in front of me. Because now I know how fleeting it is having one already out the door.
That is so true.
So I am actually really pretty good at saying no. I'm not.
You are pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, it's a practice. I've practiced.
No, I've been impressed by it, honestly.
You're like, you say no to me all the time.
Yeah. No, I'm like, look at her saying no.
Yeah.
I feel good about it.
And Alana, let me ask you something. Do you feel like people should get offended? Do you get offended when Milano says no?
I don't.
No.
You're not a very offended person, though. I don't
Okay.
think it takes a lot to offend you. I think.
Because
Oh, what, really?
oftentimes
I do. I think she's like a very like, you do you, like you're like
Yeah.
very like, cool, like I'm
Accepting.
good. You're, yeah, no problem, you know?
So you have that grace for other people.
Yeah, you do.
But likely, if you're a yes person, you don't have it for yourself. There is such a weight in disappointing people, which is why you tend to say yes. So when you are thinking about where you should say no, I want you to remember, oh, it's no big deal when someone says that to me. I accept it. I understand it. You know,
Yeah.
you might even support it.
I
Think
even
about
respect it.
Right.
Yeah.
Think about that response for you when you're going
Okay,
to say
thank
no
you.
next
I
time.
will.
Like that someone else might respect you instead of being disappointed.
Yeah.
That's very good. So what I was going to say is I don't have a problem saying no a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I do, I think I do have an issue with disappointing people that I do care about. So like, what is some language that you could give our listeners and us, that would be used in situations where you don't want to disappoint someone, where you do value the friendship, and
Also, you're not coming.
and also you're not coming.
Yes.
And all the people I'm literally going to use this season. And so everyone, if they haven't listened to this, I guess they're not a good friend, right?
And hopefully we don't use it to the same invitation.
Exactly.
I know. And usually, yes, people, and I have been that person for many years of my life. We feel like we have to give them a long, convoluted, worthy explanation of why we're saying no, in order to feel like you've connected and preserved the relationship. And you really don't have to do that. That's an issue that we have to work on ourselves to be okay with not offering that. I think the important thing when you're saying no is that it's clear and it's kind. The worst thing is people who are like, "Oh yeah, probably I can come. Maybe I'm going to be there,"
Mhm.
and then they cancel on you last minute just because they can't say no to begin with. You know,
That is
that
the
actually
worst.
creates more disappointment. So what I always like to say is, thank you so much for thinking of me. I wish I could be there, but I'm not going to be able to go that night. I have another commitment. That's it. And that commitment could be me being on my couch reading a book. They don't need to know that, you know?
Even
So
with
you're
a good friend, you would say that? I mean, I feel like
If
my friend
I'm
would be like, "You have
exhausted,
another commitment?" Like,
so
okay. I mean,
yeah,
like, sure, but like, what is it? You know?
yeah, yeah. I mean, if it's that good a friend, I will say, I really want to come. I am so exhausted. And
Yeah,
if that is that good a friend, they're going to
they
affirm
will
that.
understand.
Yeah. And if
Yeah.
not, I mean, we change friends every 7 years. We need to do a stock every 7 years. That's pretty
Is that
much what the
wait,
research
really?
shows, because we grow and evolve, and not everybody
Right.
grows and evolves at the same rate. So the people who you may have been friends with at one point are not going to carry you into your future in a very life giving way. We have to recognize that.
Can we talk a little bit about the excess of the holidays? Those
Hmm.
are parts of your book that I really got a lot out of. I am so your shopping sister in the idea of like ordering as much as possible from Amazon and boxes arriving and just hiding them. I don't even know what's in them. I forget what I ordered. And then like it's 11 o'clock on Christmas Eve and my husband and I are like in some closet trying to make sense of it
Oh
all.
my gosh. We're
And I,
leading parallel lives.
yeah.
Yeah.
And have felt over the years the need to just shower the kids
Mm.
with all these different levels of magic, the big present and the thoughtful present and the other thing and then the
Well, it's
experience.
fun.
Mm.
Yeah, but I'm reaching the stage where it feels like too much. I we do dread kind of like the January credit card bills.
Hmm.
And I want to scale back. I do and maintain the magic in a smaller way. And I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about the language that I could use with the kids
Yeah.
with that idea. Not being like, guess what, guys, Christmas is over, but you know what I mean.
Right, right. That's a great question. I think many of us fall into that. And part of that is the cultural pressure to create magic in this season. That is the overarching expectation that has been put on us, that we've led to believe this is what families all do and this is what needs to happen in order for this to be beautiful and memorable. And it is a lot of pressure. I interviewed a financial expert in the book, and one thing we know, financial stress is the leading cause of marital problems and the leading cause of divorce. So that's just something to keep in mind. Even if we're not at the divorce level, it creates a lot of financial stress. And one thing she said that I still think about is, she said, you want the January you to like the December you.
I
And
love
that
that.
depends on what you do now. And I've been thinking about that more as I've gone through this holiday. Now, I remember a year ago, my kids are all teenagers for the most part, and they're into Giftful, where everything is listed with a price on an app and you choose. And I remember one Christmas, we had gotten their Giftful, and then they had said, there are no real surprises. And I said, well, kids, if you're going to ask for things that cost that much money, there's no room for surprises. If you want surprises, we got to pare down this list, or we have to change our expectations a little bit. And they were old enough to understand that. But I think the kids will take the lead from you. And it starts with, you're going to tell us what you want, and we're going to write to Santa for some things. And some things are going to come from us, and it's going to be a surprise. You're not going to know what things you're going to get off this list and what things maybe you might save for later, for your birthday or another time, whatever it is. So you set the expectation from the beginning. And
And maybe like it can start with like, you guys are a little older now,
yeah,
so we can start to talk about these things more.
absolutely. Absolutely. I have to tell you, probably the greatest lie I ever told to my kids about Santa,
Oh, we're
because
getting here. Okay.
I had
Yeah.
such,
Juicy.
and to
Woo!
this day, they still talk about it. Because the whole issue of why do they get these gifts, and why are we bringing kids gifts to poor kids? Why do poor kids not get gifts from Santa the way you do?
Oh,
That never sat well with me. So I have lied to my kids. Now they're all older, but when they were little, I said, the one thing you should know is the gifts that Santa gives you, we pay for half of them. And this is why you get different gifts than other kids. And if you are naughty, he doesn't bring them and he refunds our credit card. We get a credit. So that is
Wow,
what
Niro, this is some advanced
it was
stuff here.
advanced lying and manipulation for sure. But it helped them
No, but it was kind. It was finding a way to explain a difficult thing.
That's exactly what it was, because I needed them to understand that they were not better than these other kids, because service and volunteerism has always been a part of our family, and we've bought gifts for other kids. And they, at one point, had that question, are we better than,
yes.
do we behave better? Do they not behave? So I had to come up with something. So that was the lie. That was the story. We stuck to it. So
that's a great lie.
Wow.
I think the age thing is really key here, because I have still people, believers.
Yes. Yeah.
And actually, like, everyone is technically a believer. I think that no one really wants to test the theory. And so we're operating under the Santa framework for sure. And I just don't know how I struggle with the concept of precedent. And I agree. I mean, I agree with everything, like the damage of excess and also what it sets them up for, further down and the letdown. But it's not just, I mean, maybe it all is cultural. Maybe that's the true root, but it's also like what information you're bringing, right? What background information you're bringing to Christmas, which is, I think, so much the driver of so much anxiety.
That's right.
I make the magic of holidays. I make the magic of Christmas happen. And fun is one thing that it is. It's super anxiety producing too. But one of the things that I wrote down on my joy list, which we can get to in a second, but is Christmas morning. And it's not Christmas Eve. It's not, and by the way, your Santa wrapping all the presents, every Santa is different, but our Santa that comes to our house, he just empties his sack.
Love it.
So there are pros and cons to that, right? Like, we're not dealing with the wrapping, but we're also like, here's this like dollhouse that it just came down the chimney,
right.
And it's all assembled. So like whatever,
assembled.
Yeah, like what the elves are like furiously working through the night. And so that made me laugh too. It's like every Santa is different. But anyways, what I'm saying is that I struggle with precedent, and I struggle with like, well, last year, this is the problem, is like, it's so easy when the kids are little. You say in the book about like, oh, you have like a little doll and a baby carriage and like a bottle and like doll clothes or whatever. It's just easier to produce and to roll out. And then the kids are like not playing with dolls anymore. And then I struggled with this a few years ago. Now that my oldest is 12, 10, I've got 12, 10, and 7, almost 7. And it's like, well, what now? Like freaking, I guess, PS5?
Right.
Like, like what? Like, and you get to that limit, you get to the ceiling, and you're like, but then I've got the 7-year-old who's, I've got, and they're all taught, they're all in the same, and he can't see that like the magic is done for that guy over there, his brother, but like it's still supposed to be happening for, so I get all kind of mixed up in my head about it.
Yeah. Different conversations with different kids, depending on their age. And it's amazing to me how much, as your kids get older and come through that stage, how much they want to keep the magic for the younger ones, and in fact, it's been really beautiful in our house to see my older kids take responsibility for the elf for the younger ones.
Oh my God, the elf.
Same.
Our house, they know the elf is lazy. It moves every 4 days, so
really?
I got my, I was like, well, it's probably because, the fight that happened last night, or the room is way too messy. The elf got a little nervous.
I love that.
It's a lie after lie. I need to.
Do you know what I did
someday?
Do you know what I did with the elves?
Tell me.
The elf on the shelf? Well, I didn't really understand what it was, but I didn't have any of this growing up. I didn't have any of this information, none of this modeling. with Christmases. And so the Elf on a Shelf, I just want to participate in everything. I'm like, like me having children was like, I get to do all of this Christmas stuff over
Yes.
the right way
And like correct the record.
and correct all of it. Right. And like, I'm just going to nail this. Like, I'm going to do it, you know, and it's just so obvious. It's like, oh, wait, this isn't like your Christmas. This is like my Christmas, you know, but I'm like living it out through them.
But that's
And
a beautiful motivation too, to say, I want to give you what I didn't have.
Totally. It does get me, and it has gotten me, you know, into some anxiety trouble. But anyways, so the Elf on the Shelf, I didn't really know that it was just one. And so Buzz got the Elf on the Shelf when Buzz was of age to get the Elf on a Shelf.
By the way, I'm feeling anxiety because I just hope no children listen to this.
Oh, I know. I already thought about that. And I just am going to trust that children don't.
And maybe
we need a disclaimer.
We're going to have a disclaimer in the intro. Like, if there are children in the carpool, do not listen to this.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I didn't know about just the one. So then Louise came along and I was like, well, geez, Louise needs an Elf on the Shelf too, because Buzz has one. And then
so everybody has an elf.
I realized what I had done, but it was too late. And then Louise had one. So then when Hank came along, he got one. So now not only do I have 3 little elves on the shelves to move around in their rooms.
God.
Do they all go to different locations?
Oh, well, each one has one in their own room.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. This is
right.
Really dug
I've dug my own grave. Not only that, but we have all these little funny, like those vintage elves from my husband's grandmother. You know, the white with the wire. They're like very rascally. Do you know what I'm talking
borderline
about?
Scary
And borderline scary.
Yep.
Like from a Roald Dahl, you know, book.
Yeah.
And they're the downstairs elves. So there are about 8 of those who get into all sorts of mischief.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
So you know, I mean, this is like, I'm just the elf business is like.
It's serious. I know. It's serious. And people don't have to continue in the same way what they've done every year. And that's a big theme for the book. You know, well, I think you can do it differently. I mean, one year you might decide, hey, all the elves are going to do the same thing, you know, in the same place. And we're not
the elves bonded in the off season.
Yes.
And they stick together.
They became
unionized
friends, right?
Yeah.
Right. They became friends. So I think that's part of this is looking at, okay, this is what I've done because we think we've done it. This is tradition. We have to do it every year the same way. But we have to look at what does life look like this year for us? How have the kids changed? How have they grown? How have we grown? What's our stress level this year? I know for me, because I'm promoting a book during the holidays, literally, I told my family I'm not hosting anything. We're not. We're coming to you. I can help a little bit. And I'm a big hoster. Like that's a tradition in our house, but I wanted to be able to enjoy it with my own family, especially now that my daughter's coming home for college. It's one of the few times we're all under the same roof. So looking at those things every year and saying, what is right for us this year? What is good for us this year? And that allows for the consideration. Okay, the kids now are older. They're asking for things that are really expensive. So maybe we don't do as many gifts as we did when they were 7 and their gifts were, $10, right? So asking those questions to find what is going to be the right thing for you this holiday this year.
This is kind of neither here nor there, but what I really can't wait for is just when it's like all about experiences.
Oh, it's
like,
so good. Yes.
Wait, we're all going on vacation. Merry Christmas.
You did that one year.
I mean, they still
we went to France,
but they still got presents.
Yeah, yeah. That did feel Scroogey to me when you were talking about it. Really, no presents? Jeez,
still got presents. I don't know how I sold it, but Niro, you talk about making changes in how you approach the holidays, and I loved what you wrote about habit stacking and how that can help with really kind of getting little changes implemented into your day. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So anytime we're trying to create a new habit, our success of making that a habit goes up if we wire it in with something that's existing and automatic. So for example, say we're trying to start a gratitude practice. What is something that you do without even thinking every day? For me, that's I make my coffee every morning. So habit stacking in that sense would be, I'll put a gratitude journal by my coffee maker. And while my coffee's making, I will do the gratitude because we connect something new to something that's already wired in.
Don't you love that?
I just love it. It's just, this is what I'm talking about. It's like, you can just do that. Like, that's not a big mountain to climb.
Right. Or right after you put on your pajamas or whatever it is that you do without fail every day. That's when we we schedule the new habit or the new practice, whatever we want to do. And what our research shows is it's more likely to stick when we do it like that.
So along these lines, another thing that I have discovered in doing in the practice of gratitude, and like making lists of the joy, the things that bring me joy. A couple things on this, but is that when you have an assignment to do it, all of a sudden your brain is like, I have that assignment tomorrow, and it starts to look for it. Right?
Yes.
So it's not like digging down anymore. It's like you're proactively going through your day.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, that's a good one for
Like,
that's a
gonna
good
be
one for
on
the
the
list
list.
tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, that does bring me joy. Oh, wait, what else? Oh, and then you it's almost becomes like a game, like a fun. It's not challenging anymore. It's like you want to have something for the list.
That's
and
right.
so it's just this like, it starts this like awesome loop.
I love
where
that.
like gratitude, like the assignment of gratitude begets like more gratitude. And you're all of a sudden
feeling
like
more of it.
You're feeling more of it. You're seeing more of it wherever you go.
Yes.
And it's almost like this like filter you put on your eyes. Like we put in the Instagram filters or like the phone filters when we take a picture. It's like all of a sudden you've got this like gratitude, like joy filter.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
It's true.
And so
yeah, and the research backs that up. So Sean Aker wrote The Happiness Advantage. And what he found in his research was that if you look for 3 good things a day for 30 days, you rewire your brain for optimism. You can take someone who's really a negative thinker and they will become more of an optimist after 30 days. So that's why they say these practices are transformative. And the beauty of that is that even when you get into difficult situations, your brain is still wired for the good. So you're looking for the good in those times where it may actually be hard to find, but now you've reshaped your lens in how you experience the world and you will find it even in those times. So I love that you found that.
it's like there's a couple of things that happened recently, and it's just like so spooky. Because we were doing this recording with you today,
Yeah.
and then Hank came home and he's like, Mom, in school, they gave the parents an assignment. This is your assignment. Guess what it is?
What? Joy.
Oh
my
Literally, he did this in
gosh.
school and he brought it home for me to do it. I'm like, this is crazy. Okay. So I made a list. I'm going to show you. And then guess what? He's in the first grade. So the first grade has like a school, like a concert at school, a holiday concert, and they practice various songs. Do you want to know what their song is?
What?
Joy to the world?
No.
Something with joy.
These are a few of my favorite things. And I'm like, Eureka! She is practicing gratitude.
Yes. Yeah.
Julie Andrews, Fräulein Maria. That's what that whole thing is about. When the dog bites, when the bee stings, right? Like when all these bad things happen, I simply remember my favorite things. And then I don't feel so bad.
Wow. I never thought of that in that context, but that's exactly what it is.
She's like, this is what it is. And he's singing this, and I got to do the joy thing. And I started doing the joy thing. And then I can't stop with the joy now. It's like,
I love that.
Okay. Where's our lightning round? Did I give it to you?
I don't know.
I'm just going to wing it then. I did have a lightning round here somewhere. Okay. My lightning round is, what is a tradition that you do and love to do around the holidays with your family?
2 things. We love baking together. I love making these desserts that they expect every year, and I love them, and they say the holidays. But I also just love watching holiday movies with them at night. We do that pretty frequently throughout the holidays. And especially once your kids are teenagers, that time that they're willing to spend with you changes. My kids still like to spend time, but that's something everybody likes to do. And we do it together. And it's just very cozy and beautiful. And it reminds me of when they were little. So those are my favorite things.
I've got one.
Go.
What is something that you do just for you and you forget all of your holiday stress?
I spend time every morning, as I wrote in my book, with a candle by my Christmas tree. And I have time for silence, my gratitude, a little meditation and prayer. And that sets me up for the whole day. And in that time, I'm also reflecting on those good things. So that is how I begin my day at some point in the morning, whether it's before they wake up or after they are out the door.
What is a tradition, a holiday tradition that you were excited to bring in to the mix and that you've since dispensed with because it didn't serve you in the
That's a
end?
good one.
That is a good one. So I will say I used to be over the top baker. I mean, like 12, 15 kinds of cookies, intricately decorated. And I said, I'm not doing this anymore. And now that my kids are older, I'm like, if you want all of this, you bake this recipe, you bake this one. This is what I'm going to do. That's setting the boundary, right? Because I didn't want to spend my entire holiday in the kitchen either. So that was one of the things I said, I can't keep this up forever.
Okay, just two more. What is the thing that you bring into your motherhood from your childhood? A projection.
Like a holiday thing?
Doesn't have to be holiday.
My parents made it a point to show up for a lot for us. And I have immigrant parents who were both physicians who started their practices with literally no support. And I think about that a lot, how they showed up for me at different times. And they did whatever they could to show up in those times. So I think I have carried that into my childhood. Whereas, I have friends who do set boundaries around those things and I respect it. But because I still remember my parents doing that, no matter how busy they were, I do it too. And it doesn't stress me out. It actually brings me joy because I feel like I'm teaching my kids that there are certain people in your life that you do show up for, and
No matter what. And it really matters.
Yeah. And kids do remember that. They do eventually.
Lastly, I know we do. What is the thing that you and your husband, the parenting battle that you guys kind of get into the most?
Oh,
like the number one parenting thing that just
I
engages your
and this goes back to family of origin. What you grew up with becomes your normal. And he is very much a rule follower and order. And when that is not the way it is, he's a surgeon, he's ex-military. So it all goes with his personality. He's a lovely father too. But they're big reactions to things that are not that big a deal. And that is our biggest battle. And he has worked on it. And my sense is, okay, if you're going to have that kind of reaction for this, there needs to be an equally grand reaction when something good is done by our kids. It has to match, or tone it down, which he's worked on that. So that's our battle. It's hard being married to a therapist. I will say that. I give him credit.
and hard to be married to a surgeon.
I know. Yes.
Thank you so much. I'm
you.
going to continue this practice of gratitude, and on my list tomorrow morning is going to be this conversation with you and the fact that you wrote this book that I'm going to share with everyone in my world.
Thank you so
and
much.
Thank you to Ginger Grabel for connecting us, and thank you to me for reading your book.
Thank you to you, both of you, for having me on. And
Thank you for your time.
I don't want this conversation to end. I feel like we all need to now go out for coffee sometime in the new year.
I would love that.
Yeah,
and hang
or like
out.
pomegranate holiday cocktails.
Yes,
don't you like?
Yes, we do.
But not this holiday season.
Happy holidays to you and your family.
And congratulations.
So and thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh. I just cannot say enough about her, Niro. And this book is so meaty. I feel like it's something that's going to be on my shelf that I'm going to keep coming back to, every holiday season, but even just beyond, any other day of the calendar year, that.
I love that she also said in the book, don't feel like you have to read the whole thing every time you pick it up.
Right.
Maybe one chapter will be helpful to you this season, or, that's a nice way to look at it.
There was just so much that I'm yes, I can do this. I can do this this afternoon. I can do it tomorrow morning. And that is actually really helpful. That's really going to help me.
What are the big ones you're thinking about?
Yeah. So what I was saying with her on the show was that just the practicing of gratitude is very refocusing for me, and in the book she makes a distinction, which I wish I had asked her about actually. is like, don't just be like, I'm so happy for my family and I'm so happy everyone's healthy. It's like, well, that's great. Like you should be, but actually be like pinpoint what you are truly grateful for. Like I am truly grateful that my son helped me unload the dishwasher.
Yeah.
You know, I am truly grateful that Bobby, my husband, could do that math with Louise, because honestly, math isn't my strong suit. And like I would probably screw her up. And I'm so glad that I'm married to someone who's good at math and who can like work with my kids on math. You know, like just like
Yeah.
really like
Wow, you're doing a really good job at
I'm
this.
literally like it's not even like I'm trying,
impressed.
but this is my point. It's like when you grease the gratitude wheels, I mean, they just roll. You know, there's no like effort. It's like all I do is see like things I'm grateful for now. And I think that is that loop. Like we can, it's so easy for negative loops to happen.
I'm in a negative loop.
Oh no.
Well, I mean, nothing
No,
dramatic.
I mean, no,
just
but like, tell me. I didn't mean
everything
to
you're saying.
dismiss
I
you.
just am thinking about how I have been just thinking so negatively about things lately. Like, I gotta like big one. This is so small, but like I've been driving 3 children 3 separate times to school every morning because they can't. They just are so they expect it.
Mhm.
And I've been getting in loops like that. Like, I'm not going to do this anymore. They need me to do this. And this morning, my son had a special field trip and my oldest, and had to get to the train station by a certain time. And I had forgotten, and he wasn't downstairs when he was supposed to be to get to school, but the field trip deadline was later. And I was like, this is the day when I'm drawing the line. I'm like, he can get his own ass to school. And I like tore off, and he almost missed the field trip because he had to like sprint through town
My
to
God.
get to the train station.
I know that's like such a bad feeling for you. And I want to say that if he had missed that field trip, I guarantee you that boy would never
be late again.
be late again.
I know.
It's just those hard, like those hard growing pains when you're doing the actual growing.
Yeah.
It's so hard. I know.
Anyway, I don't know if this is a good example, but I've just been like thinking negatively about things. And I love the idea now that the holidays are here of focusing on gratitude in exactly how you described it. The little moments of the day. It doesn't have to be big picture things. Like, I'm so grateful for this,
No, the big picture things actually, I don't think
that's paralyzing.
Well, it's paralyzing because it's not effective. Like,
right.
I think what I love about her book is like, this is actually supposed to be effective.
Yeah.
And it's not like whatever reason you're doing it, like whether it's to like commune with God or like spiritual or like whatever. That's great. Like you do you. But actually from a neurobiological perspective, doing this really like affects how you walk through the world, how you see yourself, how you see others, like the capacity.
And it's not all hippy dippy. It's no. As she says, it's science. Like she believes in science.
Exactly. She believes in science. And again, I think I did understand it, and I did want to like participate in it because I can see like other people who are doing it and they seem like it's like, I want to have what she's having, But the way that she frames it is like, this is going to help you. It's not sure, like, let's all, help other people. Like, great. Like, that's great. But like, let's just like put that aside for a second and just like focus on like all of the ways that this actually like serves and benefits and nourishes you and like lengthens your life and strengthens your physical heart and like makes you, more loving to others, more lovable to others. Like, it's like all of this like good stuff for you. It's like, it's so, I don't know. She just like the way she boiled that down and just how easy it is. Like I fall really, I don't know, like victim. I'm going to say that's not what I mean to say, but I get into the habit. That's a more accurate description of the I have to's, the I have to habit. Like, I have to go to the grocery store and I have to do this and I have to do that. And I
should too.
I should do that. Right. And if you just like flip that language,
I want to get a good dinner for all of us tonight.
Or don't make it dishonest. You know what I mean? Like keep it honest, but it's like, I have to go to the grocery store can be like, I'm I get to go to the grocery store and pick out make it actually something that you are happy about. It's great when I have a helper to go to the grocery store for me. That is a lot of help in a lot of ways. So for me to have to go on my own or not have that help, it can feel like a negative. Like I have to go to the grocery store today and that's going to take up whatever amount of time that I'm not doing something else, whatever. Well, one thing I do like about going to the grocery store is actually being with all the food and selecting my own food and picking it up and choosing the snacks and not getting the bruised apple and feeling the avocados. And I actually do like that sense of control, that sense of experience. And so
that's believable.
While that's a bummer in some ways, I'm going to say, oh, I get to do that. Right. It's I guess it's kind of a silver lining, but don't think of it as a silver lining. Think of it as
think of the actual things that you do enjoy.
Exactly. Right.
So when you look at the holiday season over the next 6 weeks or so, what are some practices that you want to put into effect?
One thing is just to remind myself that this was a beautiful part in the book. Remind myself that that I can't control other people. I can only control myself. Right. And then also just not knowing, not personalizing, taking the me out of someone else. If that makes any sense.
Say more.
Yeah. So someone is trying to think. I don't know, being rude, saying something rude to me, saying something cutting, saying something that's dipping into my bucket. And to sort of realize that is not about me. Even though it seems like it's about me and it sounds like it's about me, but it's not. We are going to end on that note. And we are so grateful. We're heading into the holidays, heading into Thanksgiving. And we're grateful. We're grateful for the work that we are doing with Bare Naked Moms. We are grateful that you show up to listen to us and now watch us too. We're grateful for this.
It's unclear to me whether anyone's actually watching.
Unclear too, but we have to pretend, right?
For sure. Thank you, watchers.
Thank you, watchers. We wish you a very happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, friends.